Okay, so in this video I'm going to cover chapters 15 and 16 of The Color of Water. This video will be a little bit less complete, less than a complete summary of than the last video, just because I want to make sure that I don't want to give too much away in case you're watching this before you've read the chapter, but hopefully this will help you with understanding what the chapter is about. So the title of this one is Graduation, and as it's written in italics, we know that this is one that is told from Ruth's perspective. So in this chapter, we're talking about Ruth's graduation from high school. So one of the things that we learn is that while she had hoped to finish high school up in New York, she made the decision to return back to Suffolk in order to graduate. Her decision to go to the actual graduation ceremony actually seems to have been a pretty major decision. And it's forcing her to make some choices that are leading her away from her old life. So the major plot points of this one, the first one is that Ruth is returning to Suffolk after the abortion that she's had, and then she also runs into Peter, who is her boyfriend, who had gotten her pregnant, and there's an incident that between her and Peter where she learns something, and that the situations change that greatly upsets her. And then finally, towards the end, over the objection of her parents, who neither of whom want her to go to graduation, she makes the decision to attend with her friend Frances. But on her way to the graduation ceremony, there's an event that happens and a decision that she makes that occurs shortly after graduation that is really going to change the direction of her life. So those are some things to keep in mind as you read this chapter. Alright, so the next chapter there is driving. Now, this chapter is sort of centered around a trip that McBride took with his mother to the grocery store. So this is not a long trip, but the importance of it is that his mother is driving his stepfather's old car, and as we remember, she's not much of a driver. And the thing that we learn from this one is more about how much Ruth has changed from the child that she once was, the person that she once was before. So the points that we want to focus on in this one, the plot points, the first thing is that McBride is returning from Louisville from his time with Chicken Man and Life on the Corner, and he starts to make some gradual changes with his life. We also see that Ruth is slowly starting to recover from the death of her husband, and she's doing it in her own unique way. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this chapter revolves around this trip that Ruth takes McBride and his niece, this dangerous trip to the grocery store that ends with a sort of a major decision on Ruth's part. And also, it gives us a revelation about Ruth in this one. Okay, so enjoy reading the chapters. They're not that long, and bring any questions that you have to class. Take care. Bye.